How many times have you heard the story of the errant father who walked out on his wife and kid, only to turn up when the kid becomes successful in later years? It seems to be the story of numerous Hollywood stars, music artists, and business moguls. From Eminem to Quentin Tarantino, Kevin Hart, Keanu Reeves, Adele, and even the entrepreneur, business magnate, and former CEO of Apple, Steve Jobs. This motif has been the inspiration for many grass-to-riches stories, both in books and Hollywood films. Jeff Bezos, the second richest man in the world, has the same story as well, and in this video, we're going to take a look at who his biological father is and the backstory that sheds some light on the early days of one of the most influential businessmen of this century. Who is Jeff Bezos' biological father? Jeff Bezos was originally born Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen in 1964 to Ted Jorgensen and Jackie Guise. At the time of his birth, his parents were just teenagers, and like all teenager pregnancies, things were expected to be difficult. The cracks often evident in such young marriages materialized only a year later, when his mother Guise filed for divorce in 1965. Guise later met and married Miguel Bezos, and in 1968, when the new couple decided to move to Houston, she asked Jorgensen to let Miguel adopt Jeff and to completely take a step back and not interfere in their lives. As a mother, she was certain she was doing what was best not just for her, but for her child as well. Jorgensen, by his own admission, wasn't such a good father and was a little prone to the bottle at this time in his life. Thinking it was best for Bezos and his mother, Jorgensen approved the adoption, leaving his child and ex-wife to leave and begin their new life with Miguel Bezos, who took the position of the father in Jeffrey's life. Jorgensen moved to Phoenix a few years later and lost track of his family and completely forgot the last name of the man his ex-wife married. It sounds awfully convenient how easily he forgot, how easily he let another man take over his responsibility over the life of his child, and, while many will agree that the decision benefited Jeff, a considerable number of people will simply consider him a poor excuse for a father. But let us cut him some slack. He was young, only 18 at the time, and married to a girl who was only 17 herself. We should definitely cut him some slack, don't you think? During a 1999 interview, Bezos is quoted as saying about his biological father, "I've never met him." And for him, Miguel Bezos is his father, and whatever biology says is not something he concerns himself with. The only time I ever think about it, genuinely, is when a doctor asks me to fill out a form. And this, of course, is the same attitude Jorgensen has about his son, who is completely obliterated from his memory. Reunion? What reunion? When Brad Stone tracked down Ted Jorgensen in 2012, he was 69, owned a bike shop in Glendale, Arizona, and knew squat about his biological son, and when I say squat, I mean diddly squat. Brad says Jorgensen had no idea who he was talking about and was confused by the suggestion that he could be the biological father of the renowned CEO and one of the richest men in the world. When he finally understood, his first question was, is he still alive? The purgation of that memory was so complete that Jorgensen wasn't sure his son was still alive, but he was remorseful, full of regret for that bit of foolery in his youth. I wasn't a good father or husband. Jorgensen managed to pull his life together, quit drinking, and married a woman with 4 kids. He didn't have any more kids of his own. Your guess is as good as mine as to why he didn't, but he is said to have become a good father figure to the children of the woman he married, which, as far as redemption goes, might just be redemptive enough. He had 10 grandchildren who he doted on, and that's a pretty picture if you squint just right. Naturally, with such a revelation comes a desire to reconnect. According to Jorgensen, he didn't want anything from Bezos, but he hoped to meet his long-lost son, a sentiment that was not shared by Bezos himself. If you are still in doubt as to Bezos' parentage, Jorgensen's business eschewed the same customer-oriented ideals that were a hallmark of Bezos' business empire. Reviews of the bike business showed that Jorgensen was well-loved by his customers. The only difference is that he may have been losing money by doing a job he loved. The old guy that runs this is always there, and you can tell he loves to fix and sell bikes, a customer wrote in 2011. He also is the cheapest place I have ever taken a bike for a service. I think sometimes he runs a special for $30. That's insane. When Jorgensen was on his deathbed in 2015, he reached out to Jeff Bezos once more, but the Amazon chief didn't want the meeting. He is said to have sent Jorgensen a letter instead, the content of which we may never know. If it is any consolation, Jeff Bezos might just be a much better dad than his father ever was to him. He has 4 kids with his ex-wife Mackenzie Scott, who he divorced in 2019. Well, there was a divorce there as well. They had 3 sons and a daughter who he adopted from China and had enjoyed about 25 years of happy married life. Where do you think Jeff Bezos would be now if he and his mother never left Jorgensen? Your guess is as good as mine. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to see more Jeff Bezos videos in the future.